The terror front. First off, ISIS is using children as suicide bombers. It happened in Turkey, and we have images from Iraq where a 12-year-old boy had his suicide vest taken off him just before he exploded the thing. Now in Virginia, the FBI is investigating a possible link to ISIS after a failed beheading attempt by that man shouting Allahu Akbar. Now that's the backdrop to what Vice President Joe Biden had to say in an interview with The Atlantic. He said, terror is not a threat to the very existence of the United States. Joining us now, Robert Jeffress. He's the pastor of the First Baptist Church in Dallas. Pastor, what do you make of Vice President Biden's statement there?
It's absolutely ridiculous. Look, Stuart, whether we're talking about Turkey, Nice, San Bernardino, Orlando, or now Virginia, all of these attacks share one common denominator. They were committed by radical Islamic terrorists. Not one of these terrorists, before he committed his atrocity, shouted out, Jesus Christ is great. It's always Allah is great. And for Joe Biden and our government not to acknowledge this reality is a dereliction of duty that will lead to further attacks. And I want to make this prediction on your program, Stuart. We are only one or two more ISIS attacks away from Donald Trump being elected the next president of the United States. People, Americans, are sick of this, and they want something done about it.
But let's get right to exactly what Joe Biden said. Terrorism, he said, is not an existential threat. Okay, well, let's sort through that word. He's saying it's not a threat to the very existence of the United States. No matter what, the United States will still exist. In that technical sense, he's right. But I think you're getting at something deeper than just the very existence of America. You're getting at America and what it is and what it's like today.
Absolutely, Stuart, and people need to recognize that these attacks are increasing, even in our country, in frequency and intensity, and unless we do something, we are going to be victims of continued radical Islamic terrorism. Look, I want to tell you something very interesting. Over the last several months, I've debated a Muslim imam on our sister network, and every time I pointed out the truth about radical Islam, he would scream and yell that I was being unfair and that Islam is a religion of peace. Just last week, while I was on vacation, I read that this Muslim imam has been arrested because of his connections with ISIS. Now look, these terrorists are nothing but murderers and liars. We can never expect them to tell the truth about their religion, but we ought to expect our own government officials to tell us the truth about radical Islamic terrorism.
Robert Jeffress telling it how he sees it, and we appreciate that. Robert, thank you very much for joining us, sir. Thank you.